Okay, so I just want to give a quick review here of my new rotary tiller made by Cosmo from 3pointtillers.com. So this is not hooked up fully yet, but I wanted to at least let you know what I did to get to where I'm at. So first things first, it came into a big box, metal crate, so to speak. It came in this thing. It was on a pallet. I watched a video that talked about how to get this thing out, and that video struggled to get this thing out. But I want to give you a quick tutorial on how to get this out really quick. You'll see that there's some bolts here. There's one here, one in every corner, and then there's two here in the middle and one there in the middle. Take these bolts off, and this entire top piece comes off. Once this top piece comes off, you can take the rotary tiller was covered in a bunch of plastic and padding to keep it safe. You can push the plastic down. Once you can push the plastic down, what I then did was I got the pieces and parts, and I was able to get my lower 3-point hitch attached. And then what I did is then I attached the this hood on top of it, this top bracket, which is connected with 6 bolts, 3 on that side and 3 over on this side. Put that in here, connected my top 3-point hitch to it, pulled this thing up and lifted up off the ground, about a foot or so. Once it lifted off the ground about a foot or so, I was able to pivot this frame down and then pulled it out. So it basically pivoted down and then pulled it out. And that was able to get this thing out intact without any issues whatsoever. This frame is actually pretty good. I'm actually going to take it and see if I can put a grate on top of it and put it down by the fire pit and use it for grilling food and steaks and stuff like that. So the next steps that I'm going to do is I'm going to attach, it has these parts over here that it came with, the PTO shaft, along with some of these parts here. I'm going to attach these on here. Get these going onto the back of that. The instructions online seem to be pretty good. It tells you how to quickly get the stuff on. So I'm going to attach those onto here, and then hopefully I get this thing fired up in the next day or two and see how it works. So the goal is we're going to build a soccer field right in the back over here. So my kids' soccer goal isn't sitting in my backyard, but I'm going to build them their own soccer field right back there. So I'm going to till that entire area up, plant some new grass, some turf field grass, and get this thing going for them so then they have their own spot to play soccer or football or rugby or whatever it is they want to play. So, all right, stay tuned. Okay, this is the second part. So I've done a couple other things here. So this took me a little bit of time to figure out, but I installed these fins. These are protective fins. I'm not exactly sure if you need them, but put them on here. So what you had to do is you had to remove this bolt, pull that thing out, and then this one came, and there's a spacer. You can see the spacer right in there. So the spacer comes in. So the wings, the one thing I figured out, it wasn't clear in the illustration, the wings go to the outside. So you can see they go to the outside. So that was one thing the instructions weren't very clear about. The other thing the instructions weren't clear about are these guys here. So I think that's some sort of protective thing. No idea. I watched one video and the guy installed them over here on this side. There's no way that this is going to fit. So I put them over here, and I didn't know which side it should go on. Is this side? Because this one has like kind of like a little, you'll see like a little lip that comes down. The other side does not. So I just put them over there because this wouldn't have fit over on this side. My guess is it just kind of protects the dirt from it come flying up into the tractor. I have no idea what those are for. I think you can pretty much do without that. And then the one thing I did like, and this is, I guess, just a stupid thing, is there's a nice little container that this comes with. Inside this container, I'm not going to unscrew it, but inside the container there's like bolt, like wrenches and stuff like that. So if you're out in the field tilling around and something comes loose and the tiller starts to kind of vibrate a little bit because some of the screws might be loose or something, that it's nice because they got this little box here that has a bunch of tools in there that you can just tighten things up. So it is basically on the tractor now. The only thing left to do here is to connect the PTO shaft. I've read watched a lot of videos on how to do that. So I think what you got to do here See if I can get down here. I got to take this cover off of here, and then on this side there's a cover over there too. And I basically take a measurement from there's an indentation on this. So from the indentation on this to just the flat spot right here. And I measure that, and then I cut the PTO to that length. So that's the next step. I'll see if I can go ahead and get that measured off and put on there. I think it's somewhere around 26 inches, but I'll go ahead and get that measurement and hopefully get this thing connected over the next day or two to get out there and start tilling the field over. Stay tuned. Okay, so now I have the PTO shaft installed. One thing to note with this PTO shaft compared to others that I've seen on the internet, this one is really long. So the ones that I've watched on the internet, they're only cutting them down by a couple inches, 2 maybe 3 inches. I had to knock off 9 inches on this thing. A little bit nervous about that, but made about 10 different measurements and watched a ton of videos on this. But if you're getting this from 3tillers.com, don't be nervous if you're driving a subcompact like this John Deere 1023E, because they do provide very, very long PTO shafts. But I got it all attached. It seems like it ran dry okay. I'm going to give it a whirl in the dirt here soon. The couple things I did want to notice, learning experience here for me, obviously, first time putting it on. But if you have the quick disconnect mower, that's got to come off before you put the tiller on, because once you try to drop that, the tiller sits on the ground, and you can't drive back unless you raise it up. And then if you raise it up, then you can't get the mower off. So so that I had to basically disconnect everything, get the mower off, and then reconnect everything, which was a good kind of a dry trial just to see how quickly it is to get on. It is very, very easy with these with the clips and the pegs to get on the 3-point hitch. Very simple, very easy. I was very surprised on how quickly I was able to get done. The PTO shafts, that cover is a pain. I don't think I'm ever going to take this one off. I'll leave it always connected and just kind of chain it up somehow. I'm not exactly sure where those chains go, so I'm hoping that the plastic cover doesn't spin, and it just. But I'm going to check that out and just see what happens when we turn it. So I might have to change that up, but that PTO cover that goes to the tractor, I might take that thing off because I got smaller hands. I can't imagine somebody that like a 6'5" guy trying to get their hands in there. So we'll see if that thing stays on, but it might be good to take that thing on and off in order to get that PTO shaft off the tractor. But other than that, I think we're all set, ready to go. I did check the oil. So here's the fuel or the oil measurement here for this side. It's down over here. You can see it right there. Pull that out. See if oil was come. This thing did seem like it was dripping some oil, which means that it is at the right level. And over on this one, it's actually a dipstick. So you just pull this thing out, make sure that there's enough oil in there, and then everything is good to go. So let's go ahead and give this thing a whirl. Let me get my wife out here to record me. So we'll get out there and see if we can at least make one till of the dirt and see what happens. Okay. Here you can see the tiller is actually doing a really good job. I'm very impressed with how deep it's getting. Uh, and I think we got somewhere around 5 inches, which is what you're going to see at the very end of the video with me using a stick to kind of feel how deep this got. The one thing I will say on this lot that I tilled is that it was tilled at one point about 2 years ago. And so I just tilled again. So this isn't a virgin till, but it did do really good. So very impressed with it.